All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and I'm hearing in this video that Candace Owens absolutely goes off, and I'm pretty sure it's about Joe Biden. He is the one that's sending money to another country when he should be worried about the Americans, worried about us. But yet, we know Joe Biden. We know how he is. We know how corrupt he is. We know he shouldn't be in office. We all know that. Now, I wanted to check this out because it seemed like that. They said, like I said before, that Candace was going out. She said, F Ukraine. Candace Owens explains why America should not support Ukraine. So I want to get it straight into this. Y'all already know I love Candace Owens, like her talking points. She don't hold back. She say exactly what's on her mind. And that's what I like about her, man. That's exactly what I like about Candace. And like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody that's been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. I appreciate you as well. Without further ado, let's dive straight into this and let's see what Candace Owens had to say about Ukraine and why she dropped the F-bomb on Ukraine. Said, forget them. We need to be worried about our country. Forget Ukraine. Let's go.
When I was watching the Republican debates and they're sitting here trying to make me cry for people in Ukraine. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Have you looked around America yet? Do you really think that this is what the people at home are going to respond to, perpetually telling them that they have to care about another nation more than their own backyards, that they should be caring more about what's happening in Ukraine, and Chris Christie trying to pitch it, and Pence trying to pitch it, and Nikki Haley, we need to be the police officers of the world when we can't even police her. We can do both. No, we obviously can't. Like, have you walked down the streets of Los Angeles? Have you walked down New York? We clearly, obviously can't do both, right? And so having, I think, that the courage to stand on something that doesn't feel establishment popular or mainstream media popular, but that you understand is what people are actually feeling. And, I'm very much a person that from the very beginning has said, F Ukraine. I stand on that. And I would have said it if I was on the debate stage. Like, I would have let them all do their little pitch and the cries and tears, because how this gets into the
why if Ukraine is what I ask. Why?
Because rich men north of Richmond, you know what I mean? Because Richmond north of Richmond, because people literally can't put food on the table. You've stopped people from working in America. The average person is struggling to even be able to afford gas, groceries. Yep. You have people that are dealing with an influx of crime and illegal immigration in their cities. People whose daughters and kids are being that was horrifically killed in Arizona going on a run by an illegal immigrant. All of this is happening in our country right here. Because if you told me as a mother that I need to care more about what's happening in the neighbor's house while my kids were suffering in my house, I would look at you and tell you were crazy, obviously. Of course, I'm going to take care of my own house first.
Exactly.
And if I have something after my house is in perfect order, right? And then you say to me, hey, they need help. That's just common sense. But if my house is in complete chaos and my kids can't eat and my kids are struggling, how dare you tell me that it's wrong to want to care for my own first? And that's exactly what the American foreign policy is amongst the elites.
But Candace, our house has never been in perfect order, as you know this, in America. So how do you grapple with the fact that when do we get involved? Like, if China,
we shouldn't.
If anything, anywhere, like non-interventionist. So China attacks Taiwan, you're good with it. What kind of foreign policy do you think we should even have? Zero whatsoever in the world?
Everything that we're doing in the world right now is we're suffering from not being able to mind our own business. This idea, post World War II regarding international liberalism, that it was now we must spread our ideas everywhere and everybody must accept them. Maybe people don't want to live like Americans want to live. Have we ever thought of that? Like, maybe people in Iraq and Iran actually are not interested in the way that we live. Maybe people in Saudi Arabia are not interested in the way that Californians live. And by the way, if you're looking at what's going on in California and LA, does it seem like maybe people should be embracing American values and principles at this moment? Like, if you could buy them and purchase them right now as another country, you probably would be wanting to go the other way. Hence Uganda and the laws that they're putting in place trying to keep this LGBTQ agenda that Americans are funding all across the world. Why are we funding that? Why are we funding saying that girls in Pakistan need to learn about transgenderism? This is the foolishness that our tax dollars are going toward. And people people, oh, that because international liberalism, these are great ideas. No, actually, these ideas kind of suck. Actually,
it's arrogance,
and it's arrogance. It's not even American arrogance, because the average American doesn't think this way. The average American doesn't think that children in kindergarten need to learn 75,000 genders. We're not impressive academically. Kids are getting systematically dumber in America. We have nothing to show for all of the money that we're spending all around the world. Our country is in full decline. Yeah. So I actually want to be clear. It's not just F Ukraine. It's F everybody until we get our house in order.
So nothing. Yeah. You don't want to be involved. So if China attacks Taiwan and the semiconductor chips we're relying on, and that's going to be gone, and 96% of the products that China manufacturing right now in China, where Apple's manufacturing in China, and they go through that mess, it's okay. It affects, you're totally
not
fine.
Our boys to die on foreign soil.
Zero.
No, not one American life should be lost.
So then how do you, so then what would, if a Candace Owens was president today, what would your foreign policies be? What would your approach be with Xi? What would your approach be with Putin? What would your approach be with what's going on in Iran or some of these guys? What would you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, with Putin, obviously the worst thing that we could have possibly done, which is what's happening now, is folded him further into the arms of the East, okay? Putin should be a natural ally with the West. We have been pushing this fake Cold War for way too long, okay? We're not in the 60s anymore, okay?
Exactly.
Putin is not trying to rebuild Soviet Union. He doesn't have the money. I mean, it's completely ridiculous to think that Russia is the biggest threat. This is just the mainstream media simulation. It's going to be just like the Soviet Union, whereas we're the ones that are actually pushing further into that territory. I mean, it's complete delusion. We're the ones that is putting NATO on everybody's border and pushing and inching further after we gave promises that we wouldn't do that we would not expand 1 inch eastward. Okay, so we're just not being honest about what it is that's even happening over there. We're not being honest about the corruption and the laundromat that Ukraine is, and the reason why we have such a vested interest in it, Biden's interest in it, Burisma and everything that's going on. This has nothing to do with caring about Ukrainian soldiers. If you actually bought that narrative that they're worried about the Soviet Union expansion, you're absolutely wrong. They want to expand their own power in that region.
Exactly.
And so when Trump was in office and he sought to have a meaningful relationship with Putin so that we weren't pushing him into the arms of China, and China is actually a threat to the United States, that was the right policy to have, an actual peace policy, that we should be respecting how people want to run their own countries, right? And also trying to have strategic relationships, strategic partnerships with them. That is what makes sense to me. I believe in national sovereignty. I believe that Russia has the right to run its country the way that it wants to run its country. I believe Iraq, Iran, America, the United Kingdom. I don't want to be, we want to be out. We don't want to be a part of the European Union. All the European Union, these concepts of trying to say, to globalize us and say this is how everybody must think. In America, we can't even decide on how we all want to think. You know what I mean? The Southern principles and values compared to New York City and LA is something that we can't seem to figure this out.
Can I give you perspective? Can I give you perspective? I want to get your perspective on this. So
now, y'all pay attention to what Candace Owens is saying. Man, look, I would love for Candace Owens. Just imagine if she became the president. Even if she couldn't become president, I love for her to be vice president under Donald Trump. Just imagine them two together. Oh my God. That would be unbelievable. But she made a lot of sense though. She's like our people, we are struggling for like groceries and gas and all of that, but yet all our money is going towards another country when we can't even take care of our own. That was my problem with Biden. Why is you sending so much money to Ukraine but not taking care of America, taking care of us? It's people here. We are struggling. We need the money. But yet this man is giving our money and resources to another country. And that's the reason why I love when Candace calls out stuff like this, because stuff like this need to be called out. Because that right there is wrong. That is wrong. All of that money should be here with us. We need to be trying to get our country up to par. We need to be trying to get everything straight. We need to try to make sure our people good. Why would, like she said, why should we be worried about Ukraine, China, and all that? Why are we worried about that when our country ain't in order? I mean, that's why I said from the beginning of the video, I just love her talking points. Candace makes so much sense. She makes a lot of sense. She tells you like it is. Trump 2024. We got to get Trump back. I'm telling you, we got to get Trump back in office. Because I'm telling you, if Trump was in office right now, we won't be going through half of the stuff that we're going through now. Why is our president right now is giving all our money to Ukraine? Why is he doing it? And like I mentioned before, we got people here that's struggling, people here that can use the money. Like I said, people need groceries and stuff for their house. Gas is for their car. It's enough that stores are going up on their food and stuff. So meat, chips, like all that stuff is costing more money now. So, but of course, Biden, he don't care. He already caught up in a lot of stuff right now. We already know what that is. He already was lying about not knowing anything about his son business dealings. Come to find out that was a lie. He knew all about it. And stuff like that needs to be called out. And I'm going to call it out every chance I see fit. But shout out to Candace, man, because she making so many points right now. She said, F Ukraine, forget that. Get our country up to par first.
You know, your Daily Wire, I was just with Ben a couple days ago, and we had a good time together. But think about a company, for example, that's built on software we rent, which we all do, right? A company's not built on 100% of software that you have, right? When we build an insurance company, we borrowed a company called iPipeline. They are a behemoth of a company, $2.5 billion company. After 10 years of saying no to him, he finally said, let's make it work. I said, let's make it work. And he came and gave me an offer. I couldn't refuse. I said, let's roll. Then another one and another one. I won't name all of them. But my perspective is to say, guys, moving forward, if you're not one of our, product that we're not doing internally, that's it. I don't care about them. We're not going to do any business with this is it. It's foreign. We're not going to do nothing. But we're relying on that software. The reason why I'm saying this is we're relying on China, okay? We're relying on China. Yeah. Cars, we're relying on China. This week was the first time we got an iPhone 15 that's going to say made in India, which is phenomenal. It's progress. But it's not made in America, right? Yeah. If we do made in America, this is a $5,000 phone. This is not a $1,300 or now $2,700 phone. So all I'm saying to you is and I get it. I get the fact that we spent $100 billion. White House finally confirms they spent $100 billion on Ukraine, and we sent $700 a family to Maui, which is absolutely pathetic. And it's still, it's been a month already, whatever the timeline's been. Yeah, we'll eventually get to it. What do you mean we'll eventually get to it with a couple thousand kids still missing? But
exactly. That's the reason why I called it out about Maui, because it's some bull jive going on that they ain't telling us. Like he just said, it's still some kids missing. What you mean we gotta wait or we need to wait? See, that's what I'm saying right there. If y'all know me, y'all know I'm gonna call this junk out. I'm gonna call it out. That right there is just crazy.
It's still missing. But that desire to say, nope, that's it, nothing, no foreign policy, no need to.
But what we're talking about here is we're talking about our involvement in foreign wars. That's not to say that we shouldn't be doing business deals. That's why I said strategic partnerships with people that are overseas.
Well, I get that. But what I'm saying is he asked the question, if we allow China to attack Taiwan, you're like, nope, we're not doing anything. We're not sending our men over there.
I'm not sending a single American.
So you're okay if we lose all the manufacturing?
I don't think that's not necessarily going to be the conclusion. There's a lot that could happen in between. There's a lot of negotiations that can take place. This is why you have ambassadors that go over there. What I am saying is that if I were president, and I'm not, okay, and obviously I'm sitting here giving you the Owens doctrine off the cuff.
We all wish Candace can become president, if not the vice president under Trump. But, you never know. One day she might decide, hey, I'm going to run. We all would be happy for something like that to happen. Like I said, we'll love her for her to be vice president under Trump. I'll take that. Put it in the comment section, y'all. Candace for president or Candace for vice president. I'll take either one.
But obviously you'd have to sit down, and this is why you build a cabinet and you have people that are smarter than you in the cabinet talk about these things. You bring in the best business guys to talk about how you get around this. But what I am saying is that I would not be sending a single American son or daughter to die on foreign soil.
So what about money, though? Because I agree with you. We don't need to be involved. Everything that we've done post-World War II has been a freaking disaster. Vietnam, Korea, Afghanistan, Iraq, now Ukraine. But we don't necessarily have boots on the ground per se. I know there's allegedly people there, but money or even soft power or influence. Or you talked about diplomatic relations. There has to be a little nuance. It can't just be like zero, we're done.
I'm fine with diplomatic relations. That's actually what I'm saying, is that we need more diplomatic relations. Is the whole point, you know, and we need to stop strong arming and making these stances and sending billions of dollars and with no accounting, by the way, and things of that nature. But
I think they missed like a couple billion dollars.
Yeah, like a month ago, 2 months ago, the girl from the Pentagon was like, yeah, we had a mistake and there's $6 billion. We don't know where they're at.
Crazy.
Really?
So if you like this clip and you want to watch.
Wow. That was a great interview right there. That was a great interview by Candace Owens. Shout out to her. She always does a great job. She called the mess out. Like she said, we ain't finna send nobody from America over there to get killed and all that type of stuff. Exactly, and I'm right on with that. Like, nah, we ain't finna do that. But, you know, y'all heard what I had to say. Y'all heard what Candace had to say about it. Like I said, I love her talking points. Her, Judge Janine, Trump, all of them, and love their talking points. And we know Candace don't hold back. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this. Do y'all agree with Candace? Let me know down below. But like she said, F Ukraine. Forget them. And she let us know why America should not support Ukraine. There you go. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.